Let me know whenever
hello
you're
everybody.
ready.
This is going to be a very different video because this is not scripted, and the closest thing I have to a script is a list of bullet points in front of me. Same thing with Florida. So today we're going to talk about the ever imminent Animal Farm trailer. Well, Animal Farm movie, unfortunately. I wish it was just a trailer. Coming out May, which is, fun fact, my birthday month. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Tracer.
Please kill me. Anyway, so me and him suffered through the exact, 4-some minutes of both trailers, and that sucked. But hey, we got a lot to talk about. Right now, first thing I have written down is, where's the communism? Because
Yeah, no, that was completely wiped from the story.
gone.
There's no political at all.
they talk about, oh yeah, we're fighting for our freedom, but freedom from what?
So, the closest thing I can see to the whole, politically revolting in the trailers, it seems like humans convince some of the pigs to enslave each other again. But it just seems to completely misunderstand the point of the book. It's supposed to be that they themselves do it on their own volition, and it's their nature. And man, pig, you can't tell the difference. But if you have humans getting in there and convincing them, it kind of just derails the whole point. You know what I mean?
Because obviously, we were all forced to read this in school, and it was drilled into our heads. This is an allegory for the Soviet Union, and this and that, and this and that. And the fact that they're getting it so wrong baffles me. And also,
I also thought it was ironic how
they're
they're rewriting it.
Yeah, completely. They're making their own story. Also, I wanted to mention, there was this very important character in Animal Farm, Old Major, the guy who invented animalism, the Marx allegory, and he's just not present. What did this revolution come from? They just didn't want to be slaughtered. And also, there's this one minor detail I wanted to mention. Boxer, the horse, kicks down that door from the slaughterhouse. And if you read the book, you know that's really ironic.
Fun fact, he's voiced by Woody Harrelson for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why, but he is.
Can't forget that. The voice actors, man, they just went for A-listers and just freaking Seth Rogen voices Napoleon, and they're doing the laugh every 5 seconds because everyone knows Seth Rogen laugh is the funniest thing in Hollywood, second only to the Screaming Goat.
Dude, that was popular for 2 weeks back in 2013. They still can't
Hollywood's
get over it.
still on that.
But there's a bit of hope for the movie, though. In the second trailer, they seem to pivot to a more deeper emotional tone, and it's less upbeat. There's a slim chance, but there's still a chance that they can make this okay.
I mean, one thing I saw in the trailer, there was a fight scene between Snowball and Napoleon, and that stopped me in my tracks because, are you kidding me?
It looked cool, but it was dumb as hell.
Yeah, extremely dumb. How would someone greenlight this? Ever. Also, let's move on. What's with the cyberpunk aspect? Why does that exist?
Yeah, it feels like a Love, Death, and... Is that the name of the show? Love, Death, and Robots? It feels like that sort of animation and setting, you know what I mean?
I've never watched it, but, I'll put up a photo on screen.
Okay, shit, I'm lost.
We wanted to mention, you know how one of the commandments is, no animal shall drink alcohol. They said, no animal shall drink naughty juice. I had this mini conspiracy theory, this is baseless and stupid, but a part of me wonders if they're making fun of this book because it's anti-authoritarian.
Get your tinfoil hats on.
Yeah, get your tinfoil.
Dude, we should edit little tinfoil hats onto our characters when you're talking about that.
Yeah. Hello, Tracer from the Edit here. Apparently, according to whoever runs the Animal Farm TikTok, they replied to a comment saying something along the lines of, "This is a disgrace to Animal Farm." And then they responded saying, "This is an anti-communist, anti-cronyism tale." So, no, apparently this story is not anti-authoritarian anymore. Anyway, one thing I wanted to mention, the whole animalism ideology. Where the frick does it come from if there's no Old Major? Because, they sat down with him, and he explained the ideology, and he died a day later. and that's where they got the idea from. But it seems that in this version, they just make it up on the go. Like, you don't invent an ideology as after the revolution.
You have it there, so you have something to revolt.
Like, imagine if the American revolutionaries did that. So, George Washington, what are we gonna do? We're still figuring that out. What do you mean you're still figuring that out? I'm Right Sorta has never won revolution. Also, I want to mention, they had a farmer's market, like, animal farmer's market. And, like, that was in the beginning where they were still, like, everyone was on 4 legs. So that doesn't make any sense. Like, they obeyed the rules in the very beginning before Snowball was chased off, so what the frick happened?
That's another thing, is they're standing up on 2 legs, like, near the beginning, and it just ruins the whole point towards the end of how you can't tell the difference, because, they're on 2 legs.
Yeah, like, the whole story, the reason the ending was so impactful was because all of the rules were shattered and changed, and nobody did anything about it. One thing that let's move on to some positives. One thing I thought the movie, if they move into this, they could do really good. If this movie isn't about, like, watching a dictatorship, and instead it's about fighting dictatorship. But now that I say that out loud, I feel like there's 1,000 kids cartoons about fighting the big bad evil guy. Honestly, that's all we can really say about this movie, and since they're threatening to release it next month, I'm gonna try to see it as soon as I can, and maybe, just maybe, I will do a video on it if it's at all salvageable, and I cast my doubts on that. And also, speaking of, we're working on our next video, and that'll be out, it'll be out alright.
It'll be out when it's out!
It sure will be out when it's out. Okay, and as always, be well, keep writing, and goodbye. Hello, Outro Rant Tracer here. I just want to say a thank you for getting this far into the video, as not many people do, and I would really appreciate it if you were to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I really, really want this Animal Farm film to do well, but as I say that, I know that's not gonna happen. That is not happening in 1,000 years. The clips I've seen, terrible, all of them terrible. None of this should have ever been greenlit. I mean, I'm considering taking, whenever the movie's out, taking all the clips I can find and trying to make a good trailer that tries to stay true to the original. And believe me, it's gonna be trying to look for gold in the middle of a trash can, but I can only do so much, and I'm going to try to stay optimistic. And it's not like the film deserves an apology, it's George Orwell that deserves the apology from Mr. Director, but, that's not gonna happen. And because this person may or may not have a social media presence, everything I said and all the clips I use are protected under fair use. And I'm gonna head out now. And let Florida say something now. Goodbye.
So something that's been bothering me about how the marketing team and the studio and all that is handling the criticism of the movie and the trailers is the way that they do that thing that, like, bad producers and, YouTubers and content creators do, where it's like, oh, we see that we're making big mistakes, people don't like our content, there's this complaint, there's that complaint, and instead of fixing it or working on it or making it their own little thing, they just, oh, well, we see that we're not doing it right, so that means we're better than it, laugh at it with us, guys, haha, we're so dumb and quirky. It's very irritating. And the worst thing about the way that they handle it is that it comes off as kind of above it all and pretentious, because they're not going to make any effort to change anything. They just want to, like, take a leap over it, take the easy way out of, like, it's so bad, right, guys? You should go see it in theaters because how bad it is. And it comes off as very sleazy and pretentious. And my room is hot, dude. I gotta turn on my fan. Sorry, I'm gonna end the rant now.